People have shorter attention spans nowadays, so we have to make our content reader-friendly. But how can we make our content easy to read? There are several things that you can do. Use pictures to elaborate your points. It is easier to catch people's attention by relating your contents to relevant images. A picture is worth 1,000 words, but it will lead to more engagement, higher reader rate, and hence more conversion. Here are the websites that you can find royalty-free photos to use, such as the Pixabay, Unsplash, StarSnap. Also, you're encouraged to create some infographics by yourself that can summarize the points in a picture. That gives people a quick idea of what it is, especially for some complex concept. But there are some free tools that you can use to make these infographics, such as Canva and PictoChart. And having great infographics may earn you some bad links as well, because some other websites in the niche may like your infographic and repost it, then link it back to you. That's beneficial to your site ranking. I already talked about the bad links in the lead lessons. Use smaller paragraphs. Remember, you're not writing a school essay. You're communicating with your reader about your product or service. Large paragraphs are intimidating and discourage people to read. Using short paragraphs with right space within your contents can enhance readability, and as a result, more people will read and convert into customers. Also, use appropriate and consistent font type, font size, and colors. Never use random font type, font size, font colors everywhere in your website. Just use the default setting, right? Otherwise, it will look very messy and reduce the readability. Don't go too fancy for the content page, right? Just use white background with black text. Keep it simple, and that's proven to convert the best and have the highest readership rates. Also, divide your article, right, with headlines and subheadlines. It's just important that you just break up the content into subparagraphs. Personally, I like to use the H3 tab for the subheadlines, and the headlines should kind of tell your reader what the paragraph is about, so that people can skim through the content very quickly and find out the critical points. And it will make your content much more readable. Use conversational tone and avoid jargons. Right? One of the biggest mistakes people make when writing the content is to sound like a school essay. That is not appropriate when it comes to marketing. Your goal is to get people's attention and read your stuff. And in order to do that, you have to make it like talking to the person, talking to the prospect, the reader in person. That way can lead to far more trust and build a relationship with the reader. And so make sure your content is communicative, but just like you are discussing something with your friend. And just use some simple words so that everyone can understand what you're talking about. Use active voice. Generally try to use active voice whenever possible. Passive voice sentences often use more words and can be fake. It makes the writing unclear by keeping the identity of the actor secret. You can take a look at the following two sentences, right? The same sentence written in active voice and passive voice. And you can see that the passive voice sentence is much longer and more complicated and more difficult to understand. Use some software to analyze the readability of your content. There are some software that you can use to do analysis and give you a readability score of your content. That way, where to improve. Personally, I like using the Hammer editor, which is free. It will help you just figure out what to improve in order to increase the readability. So make sure you follow all these rules when you're writing your content in order to make your content more readable. See you in the next lesson.